One in the
Oh yeah,
same.
Bruce. Yeah.
I saw that there was a
Definitely
hero
not
on the New York
Superman.
subway yesterday who choked a crazed man unconscious, and I guess he just kept on
Subways.
choking him
I never hear
unconscious.
good stories on subways.
Well, it depends
Did
on.
he kill him?
He killed him. He killed him. The guy was crazy. He was a crazy homeless person screaming and such.
So back when I did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I used to like live for this shit. In the same way that gun nuts just like scour the internet for times guns were used for good. I would scour the internet for times that like rear naked chokes were used for good. And one of the things that goes wrong a lot is when the victim is on something. If they're on drugs or alcohol, that guillotine choke that you've done 1,000 times before is more deadly than you expected it to be.
Yeah,
so if someone like showed up at your jujitsu gym and like they'd been drinking, they'd be like, "No, get the hell out of here. You not safe."
They
or would they be
but
like,
I hate
"You
that.
arrogant piece of shit, come on in"?
Oh, that's what I want to happen. New people would show up at the gym all the time and not recognize that they're bad at grappling, which is glorious. They'd be like, "All right, 15-year-old skinny kid, go roll with that man." And the child would just manhandle him. And it's like, okay, that's our whatever 4-month white belt. Do you want to work your way up the chain? Would you like to go with Woody next or someone who's really good? Not saying that me like Woody or someone who's really good. And I love toying with them. Or if somebody new had such a physical advantage, maybe he's in boot camp or something, that he's beating up on someone, he would get dealt with, and it's sweet. I saw a guy, he was beating up on a girl, right? So this is a really sweet Mormon couple, both blue belts, both good at this. But the wife, she was like this hot 115-pound woman, right? She can't beat even an untrained guy who's active duty army. And she was the only person he was getting the best of, right? He'd gone around, we had all had our turn with this freak who couldn't grapple. And then he gets to the girl, and he's putting his forearm in her neck and just like grinding it and holding her down or whatever.
What?
Yeah, because he needed a win, and this is the only person he could beat. The girl. Well,
read the room.
Read the room.
Husband trains there too.
Flying
and he was just doing like takedown drills on this guy, picking him up, putting him down, and then the guy didn't even want to go anymore, but the bell hadn't rang. He's just like, get up, there's more, and lessons were learned.
Yeah,
that reminded me so much of, we were maybe 11 years old, and I guess 11 or 12, and that's the age where they allow hitting to start being a thing in ice hockey. Before that, they don't allow it, because especially on ice, even a little kid can get a huge amount of speed and fuck somebody up. And by that point, I was a goalie, and so hitting was not part of my repertoire. And so I remember, though, one of the first practices where the head coach was like, "All right, Taylor, you go in that net with the goalie coach. We're doing a hitting drill." And like part of me, I was like, oh, I knew this day would come. And I do feel lonely down here by myself, like with just me and the other goalie. And I watched as he lined up this big ex-hockey playing like coach, just had them skate as hard as they could, like behind the net. And he was there waiting for them. And he just knocked the shit out of them. Like put them on their ass.
He was the brick wall.
He was a brick wall just to get them used to what it would feel like to run into something with no give. It's not like a wall. He was putting them down in a way that wasn't going to hurt them. But I remember watching that and so quickly being like, I did make the right decision in being a goalie.
Oh yeah, you want to be in goal where it's safe.
It never occurred to me that you'd practice like checking or hitting in hockey for some reason. I never played that, or any contact sport for that matter, really. I played a little baseball, but there's none of that. That's interesting. Yeah. I'm shocked.
It's weird to me because
how to hit. It was obvious.
Because you've got parents in baseball, right? Like I think the closest thing that ever came to a parent hurting a kid is the kid doesn't catch the ball and eats it. I've seen that happen. But in hockey, a parent has to hit a kid. It sounds like for the lesson to be given. So that's kind of weird because I mean, an average parent might be very judgmental about how many newtons of force are being applied to their son in this training. That was 2 newtons too much, you cocksucker. But then like a crazed person is just going to want to fight, right? Especially a hockey dad. Oh, you like hitting kids, do ya? Show you how they do it over
fucking
in
hoser. Yeah,
show you how to do it in the Michelob Leagues.
the Michelob Leagues. Yeah, it is. I was
Mountain
jealous
ass
I couldn't
whooping.
hit, but it was also kind of nice. Like that was the best part about being goalie was also the worst part. Like you are in such control of the game. Like it felt great and also felt shitty because sometimes it was like this was my fault.
You're like everybody's little brother as a goalie. Like, oh, did you hit our goalie? Did you get like? So if you stop in hockey, it shoots little ice like snow, right? And if you so much as snow the goalie, everyone tries to beat you up. And it's like, what? How big a pussy is your goalie that he can't get ice on him? But
it is annoying, man. It's cold and it gets in your eyes.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
That
The
must be
disrespect
Tommy's
alone.
got
Then
Shivers
sometimes
now.
then they stick when you're covering the puck and they stick their stick under your thigh in the meaty area and they rake back and forth with like trying to give you splinters. That shit it hurts.
People do that? What the hell?
Yeah, they're mean spirited.
When Taylor
fiber
first
splinters.
told me that about the fiberglass splinters in your thighs,
Oh god.
that's when I
wouldn't
I felt the same way I felt when I heard about the varsity football or baseball trip where they raped the kid with the Coke bottle. I was
Oh
like,
my God.
well, I won't be playing high school ball then, eh?
I
was like,
I
yeah.
certainly won't.
Like you can only take so much hazing. I was like, I thought there'd be jock straps and running. And they're like,
Yeah.
nah, dude, they put a Coke bottle up Chad's ass.
That kind of hazing is so upsetting. It's like, how are you better friends afterward because of that? Where
I
it's
mean,
like,
it wasn't a modern
couldn't you,
Coke bottle.
couldn't
It's
you have
all
gone through
plastic.
something else a little? Couldn't you have? Maybe they drop you off in the middle of the woods 2 miles from somewhere and you have to wander back. I don't know. Something not fucking putting in your ass.
No,
Like, because
they
then you have to
decided
be like,
rape him on the bus.
this is my
instead, Taylor.
best friend. This is Jared. He's our all-star second line center. Used to be first line. Now he has issues. Like he's got a lot of psychological problems. This guy
Could have been a great player.
Yeah.
a great player until he was
Really-
that was
really
right
had
our
potential.
fucking abuse. Jesus.
Jeez.
There was
so
no.
you didn't. So Aqua, you only play baseball growing up. No other football.
I
hockey?
tried to play soccer and all that. I couldn't like run for a very long time. It's not my thing. And basketball, I just never knew what the hell was going on. I just get hit in the head with the ball all the time. Soccer too, just hit in the face with the ball. I'm just not super aware of like what a ball flying around a court is doing. It's just not. It was never really my thing.
Yeah, you just didn't have an
I can
interest in it.
bat and baseball. That's all I'm good at. I can hit the ball with a stick. I'm good at golf too. That's about it.
Okay.
And skateboarding. I got into skateboarding and that was my thing. No ball, no nothing.
How long?
Simple.
Or I guess when did you start skateboarding as a young kid?
Yeah, like maybe like 6th or 7th grade, something like that. And that was like my thing. Like I actually did a little skateboarding today for the first time in quite a while, and I suck. It was horrible. I was super out of breath and like could barely jump and scared, frankly. I just don't want to hurt myself anymore. It's just not worth it.
Were you at the point that you could do like tricks?
Yeah.
Like
I could do
Mick twists?
no McTwists. I didn't do like the half pipe thing or anything, but like
stale fish. I'm trying to remember things from Tony Hawk
these
1998.
are like more snowboard tricks. Yeah, no, I could like kickflip and like do that off of stuff, like down some stairs, like stuff like that. Nothing crazy, just a few.
I grew up in the country,
yeah.
so there was no concrete to do those kinds of sports on. So
Yeah.
my sports all ended at it. If you couldn't do them in dirt, then I really couldn't do any of them. I remember I got a bicycle for Christmas one year, and I was like, but what the fuck do I do with it now? Like, because it's like we live at the end of a dirt road. We live on a dirt road with a dirt driveway and a dirt yard. Like where do I go? This isn't a mountainous area where there's like trails. No, there's not trails.
It wasn't a mountain bike. It was a track bike.
Dirt
I
bike.
mean, it was a mountain bike, but like what, my little ass is gonna pedal it through the cow pasture when there's ATVs and shit. There was no purpose for it. I just sat there and rusted away.
Yeah, that's literally just for exercise, and you're a kid. You don't need it. You're
I
already
got a
running around
basketball hoop
nonstop.
and a basketball, and it was like they didn't pour me a concrete pad, so I'm just out there in the dirt again, just like poor Michael Jordan from the beginning of Space Jam, like that, but the version that didn't try.
Yeah,
That's how I see myself.